Good morning, Borodar, and welcome to Tai Chi Movement for Wellbeing. So this is a really nice, quiet session. We've got to focus on breathing, focus on flow, focus on relaxation. So there's a lot of mindfulness involved in this session. So if you do find yourself getting anxious or stressed about things, it's a really lovely sequence to do. So we'll be running through two sequences. So it's the same sequence. I'll do it the first time and then we're going to have a little break and do it again. So if you only want to do one sequence, that's fine. And again, we're live here now, but if you want to access this at a later date, that's absolutely fine too, especially when the weather's lovely. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just make sure you've got a space around you. So I can feel I've got the wall here, so I don't want to be sort of hitting anything. So just find that space. Make sure there's nothing you're going to knock. And then when you've got that safe space, think about your feet. So you can do this with shoes on, with shoes off, socks on, socks off. Just make sure you're safe. And if you're not wearing shoes, that the area around you is free of anything you might step on. If you're feeling unwell, this is not the session for you. So even though it's gentle, you may find there's quite a little bit of movement and it's not right for if you're feeling well. So come back to this another time if you're feeling at all unwell. Have a drink so that you can have a drink halfway through or at the end. Otherwise, we'll make a start. So what I'm going to get us to think about is our stance. So if we're sort of in a sort of that sort of stance, I've got my weight coming through this leg, my spine's all out of line. So we want to really try and take those feet hip width apart and stand tall. So remember that lovely long tall spine that we've been born with. And just notice if we tend to have that slightly defeated stance, or if we tend to sort of push the hips forwards, or if we stick your bottom back. So see if we can just imagine a bead of light almost glowing inside this spine. And what I'm going to get you to imagine is that a bead of light is just splitting. And it's just one's going to travel down the spine, one's going to travel up the spine. And that bead of light is just lengthening, creating space between each segment of the spine. It's going through the back of the head, all the way through the neck, and it's coming out of the crown of your head, and it's just going to float upwards, still drawing that spine upwards. And then the lower half is going to come down that spine, through that tailbone, and all the way down. Good. Now what we're going to do is just notice if you're holding any tension in this tailbone. There's a lot of tension there. What we're going to do is just see if we can let that tension just drift away. Just let that tension drift away. Same in the shoulders. You might want to notice what happens when you squeeze those shoulders up. There's tension. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, push that breath out through your mouth and just let those shoulders slide down. So we've got our stance, that long spine. Good. Chest is open, standing proud. Now we're going to just gently take these knees off lock. So it's not a big movement, just softening the knees. You might not even be able to see me doing it. And at the same time, I want you to imagine from that nice soft tailbone, a big long tail growing down towards the floor. So what we're going to do as we take the knees off lock, we're placing that tail down on the floor. So we've almost got 3 points of balance, your feet and that imaginary tail behind you. And then we're going to rub these hands together. Rub the palms together. Rub the fingers together. See if you can rub the thumbs together. And then place those hands over that face. Just notice how this space feels. Relax. Just rest in that safe space. And then let's rub those palms together again. What do you notice about your hands? About your fingers? What do you notice about your skin? Pay attention to how that face feels to the hand. Pay attention to any tension in the face, the hands, the shoulders. See if you can allow that tension to seep away. And then one more time. That private space. Your space. And then when you feel ready, we're going to bring those hands away from the face. And we're going to start with our gentle self-massage. It's a form of tapping. So with these fingertips, we're going to let these fingertips tap the skull. We're going to come around to the chin, around that mouth, to that top lip, to the cheekbones, round those cheekbones, up that nose, over the eyebrows, to the temples. And then from the temples, we're going to just gently massage your earlobes. Give those earlobes a massage. Not so gentle you can't feel it, but not so hard that it hurts. So listen in. And then we're going to massage all the way around the outside of those ears, taking your time, all the way to the funny little knobbly bit. And then relax those arms down. And then, instead of the fingertips, but you can stay with that, we're going to make this light fist. And we're going to take that tapping. So it's up to you how hard this tapping is. It could be very light. You could just do a smoothing action if you prefer. And we're going to take the tapping to the neck. And we're going to pay attention to the neck and the shoulders, where we hold a lot of tension. And from the shoulders, we're going to come down the outside of this arm. Just being aware of any soreness. This arm's a little bit sore, but I couldn't be happier. And back up this inside of the arm. Really paying attention to what you feel, how the hand feels to the arm, how the arm feels to that hand. And then we'll relax there. We're going to just notice the right side of the body, how it feels after the massage, and what that left side is saying to you. So again, starting with the neck, just tapping. Down, just paying attention. The body responds to this type of massage. It's this human touch that we all respond to. It doesn't matter if it's us doing it, the body will respond. And then let's take that tapping. You can do alternate or just taps together. Let's cover the front half of the body. So we're going to cover the chest down, around these digestive organs. Good. Just as much as you feel comfortable. You can use that smoothing action if you prefer. If this is too hard, we'll just make the movements a little bit softer. And then around to the kidneys, the lower back. Once we get here, we're going to take it down the backs of these thighs. So you can bend the knees if you need to, particularly if you get a stiff lower back. And we're just going to come down as far as you feel comfortable. Back up the inside of those legs. Good. So once we come back up, we're going to take it to the sides. So down the sides and we'll come back up the inside. Good. So it's up to you how hard this massage is. You might feel like you're in need of a bit more kindness today. You might be in need of some invigoration. Up to you. Just do what your body tells you. Listen into it. Good. And then we're just going to shake these legs out. Shake these legs out. Shake these arms out. Come back to that stance. Come back to those feet, hip width apart, parallel as you can make them. Shoulders soft, long spine. And then as we take those knees off lock, we're going to bring these hands into that center and just allow ourselves to open. So we're connected. Those palms are connected to us. There's that sense of connection. When you feel ready, we're going to move into diagonal repatterning. We're going to think about that breath out. We're going to think about that flow. So not worrying about the breathing. Breathing out. If we move away from center, breathing in on that return. But not worrying if we get it the other way round. Let's focus on this flow. Let's notice those feet on the floor. They're grounded. We're grounded. Not just the feet, that tail is down there. And as we gently move to that left side, you can feel that tail rotating. It's adding that extra bit of support. And then noticing that weight sinking down into that left leg, down through that foot to the ground, then pushing that left foot to the ground, allowing that move to come back up. That folding at the hips, allowing those hips to move. 2 dragons wrapping. So we've got that tail down, letting those arms become floppy. Breathing out. Again, there's that weight from right to left leg. It's like the legs are generating the power and then the movement just following through with the arms. Good. And then as the legs stop, the arms, how long does it take them to actually settle? And again, straightening out those legs from that center, then placing that tail down. So if we had this globe of energy just resting in our arms, and with those hips nice and still, we're just going to open up that left side of the body. Come back up to that lovely long spine. Then we're going to open up that right side of the body. And we're going to open up that lower back. So we're almost lifting your chest over that globe. And then opening up this abdomen. So just lifting that chest up. And then we're going to link those moves. So it's almost like moving around the points of the compass. So we're going to open up that lower back, moving towards south, then moving towards west and north, rolling around. Could be the points of the clock face, going from 12 all the way around the clock, down to 6. And as we come down, we're breathing out, opening up that abdomen area, breathing in, circling that rib cage, breathing out and in. Imagine this globe of energy just rolling over that chest, rolling over that abdomen, filling you with positive energy and then changing direction. It's a wonderful movement for the digestive system when we get this right. Shoulders soft, head and neck soft. Just relax that head, relax the face, breathing out, breathing in. We'll take one more. And then standing tall, allowing those arms to relax. Remembering that if anything feels wrong, we've got our soft limit, so we can make those moves smaller. But we could simply visualize the movement. Think about our breathing and think about how we might move. And we're going to take those knees off lock again. And then straighten out those legs. And as we straighten, breathing in, breathing out. So find your rhythm. Notice that breath in. Imagine those helium balloons under each elbow. Lifting that arm, floating those elbows up. And it's as if we just let out some of the air. And they're gently supporting those elbows, those arms back down. It's that slow motion. Breath in. There's flow. There's grace. There's no beginning, no end. Moving into heaven and earth, circles. Breathing in, breathing out. Shoulders are soft. Breathing is soft but full. Notice those feet. Imagine them rooting to the ground. You feel balanced, tall. You feel relaxed. Hands are soft, tracing that spine all the way down that tail. And then that opening. Breathing in. So notice where we move out of that soft limit. Notice if there's discomfort in the shoulders, in the chest. See if we can move within that comfort range. Just notice that point of tension. Try not to push into pain, but just start the flowing movement back as you feel that gentle pull. So welcoming this new day in. And then we're going to flex the sky. So we're going to breathe in. And with those heels down, just going to bend the knees and push up through those legs. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out. So this can be as small or as big a movement as you feel is right for you. We want to relax Relax into these movements. Breathing in. It's not about how far we can go. It's about what the body is going to enjoy. Reversing this move. Rowing that boat. Breathing out. Straightening through those legs. Heels are down. Breathing out. Breathing in. Finding that flow. One more. Standing. Dropping our tail. Gazing at the moon. With two hands. Breathing out. Our toes are soft. Knees are soft. You can feel that tail just grazing the floor behind our heel. It's as if this lower half of the body, the legs and the feet, are the trunk and the roots of a tree. And these arms, like the branches being blown in the wind, coming back to rest and then being blown again. Our natural step. So we're going to see if we can turn this left foot away from center and at the same time turn those hips in line with that foot. So we're going to take the weight into this left leg and then just place the heel down, that right foot, roll through to the ball of the foot. And we'll bring these hips back to face forwards and we're just going to see if we can take the weight into your front foot, the weight into that back foot. Hopefully no adjustments, and this is our natural step. Now we're going to think about placing that tail down, opening from that center and then coming into that front leg. As we move the weight through the back foot, we're going to breathe in and out. Here am I. Breathing out into that front foot. And as we breathe in, clearing this space around us, clearing away negativity, thoughts that maybe are dragging us down. And then we'll do the same, hips turning in line with that right foot, stepping out with this heel, just stepping out, letting that foot come down, just placing that tail down, seeing if we can just move that weight comfortably with these hips facing forward. Here am I. So we're going to breathe in. This is all about being ourselves, being the real us, not being afraid of appearing to be vulnerable, afraid of our weaknesses. But at the same time, celebrating our strengths. Can't all be good at everything. But we're all good at something. Bringing it back. Placing that tail down. Connecting those palms with our center. 5 elements. We're going to take a breath in. With those palms joining. Breath out. Breath in. And out. Think about those feet on the ground. Imagine you're stood on grass next to a beautiful stream. You can hear the stream gurgling, bubbling. You can feel that grass beneath your feet. Listen for the water. Notice that breath. Drawing that breath in to the base of the lungs without trying too hard. Pushing that breath out. Breathing in and out. Imagine trees around you. Sun. Blue sky. Feeling the breeze in your hair. The birds singing. Just stay with those elements of nature for a few moments. Just remember how nature nourishes us, enhances our well-being. And then our circle of well-being. So with that tail down, you're going to draw this line of well-being all the way around us. So we're going to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. There's that weight transfer through that right to left foot, left to right. This big shimmering line. We can make the circle smaller. We can make that circle bigger. Then we're going to change direction. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breath in. Releasing any tension that you might have in the face, the breathing, the shoulders. Allow those arms to relax down. And with that tail down, we're going to take that breath in. Breathe out. Let's return to center.
Okay.
Breathing in. Breathing out. Breath in. Standing. And then when you feel ready, we're wiggling those fingers. Just giving those toes a little shake. Wishing that after 7 months, people would remember that you are actually teaching. I hope you enjoyed that sequence. So we did about 5 movements in each of the moves. So what we're going to do in the second sequence, we're just going to do 3 movements. Have a little drink now, and we're going to think about really softening that movement. So if you were just getting back into it, like I was a little bit, we're just going to really think about flow. So the breathing really helps with that. If you feel discomfort, it probably means we're moving out of our soft limit. It probably means we're trying too hard. So see if we can come back to your center, come back to that grounded position, whether we're seated or standing. Remember, we can do this sequence seated, and explore where we start to lose control, or not so much control, where we overdo it, so where we overstretch. So let's start a little bit smaller if you're struggling, and then gently expand. So if you've had a drink, let us, well, Sam's coming to join us. Let us find that space again. Make sure you've got some space around you. You can't see him. There's a chink of sunlight coming down, and he comes in here and just lies in the sun. Right then, so find that position. So if you're not sure about feet hip width apart, just play around wide, narrow feet until you find that position. There we go. And what we'll do is just take the weight into the front of the feet and the back of the feet. It's a really nice way of bringing yourself into you. Make those movements smaller and smaller till you feel the weight of the feet coming right down the middle of the feet, or your weight coming through the middle of your feet. And then just a shorter warm-up. Noticing those palms, placing those hands. Breathing out. Back to that head. Taking those taps where your body tells you it wants you to go. So start to listen into your body. Start to let the body inform the mind what it wants. This is quite hard. It's quite a skill to really listen into your body. We all think we know what it wants, but do we? Neck, shoulder, tapping down the outside of that arm. Really bringing yourself into each and every tap. And you will find yourself distracted. You will. It's a natural thing, so don't worry. You'll find dinner, Tesco shop maybe, all sorts of things just flooding into your mind while you're doing this. Just allow those thoughts to exist, and then just let them, imagine you're turning a tap on, and you're just letting them swoosh away, and you're going to come back to this body, how it feels. Is that too hard? Is it too light? Is something feeling uncomfortable? Was it uncomfortable yesterday? Something feeling really good? Down the backs of those thighs. Usually a little bit easier this time, although not always, as we've all decided. And if there's any area of particular tightness, you can focus on that a little bit more. And then finally down the front. Good. So that little warm up, really nice. Sort of releasing tension, stress, just paying yourself some attention. So let's place that tail down, almost connect those palms with that core. We're going to open. When you feel ready, diagonal repatterning, that connection between that left, right side of the body. Soften those shoulders, soften that face, soften those hands, feet, hips. Allow those hips to move. Folding movement, allow that weight to sink down through that left leg. And then with those knees soft, tail down, two dragons wrapping. So if you took the arms out, this is what we're looking for. That folding at the hips, so the legs initiating the movement. Arms just following, just floppy. Good. So this sequence, it's a whole body movement. Even when seated, the legs play a massive part. So do those core muscles. We've got that inner core of steel surrounded by silk. So let that silk just settle. That vital organ warm up. Just opening up that left side of the body. Rolling that chest. Opening up the lower back. Opening up the right side of the body. Opening up that abdomen. Circling this breastbone. Breathing in. Breathing out. Shoulders are soft. Change direction. Face is soft. Toes. Relax. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. And breathing in. Relaxing those arms. Letting them fall. Flying like wild geese. There's the rise and the fall. Drawing that breath in. Pushing that breath. Remembering our mirroring. Letting that weaker side lead. So there's balance. Heaven and earth. So it's circles. Arms. Soft. Wrists are soft. Breathing in. It's as if as we breathe out, those palms just lengthen that lower spine all the way through that tail. Breathing into those armpits, into the rib cage. Opening. Noticing if we get unstuck at our fullest point. Noticing if we go too far. And then sweeping down. Bending at the knees. Breathing in. Heels stay down. Knees bending in line with that big toe. There's that breath in. And then rowing that boat. Powerful movement for the legs and the shoulders. Gazing at the moon, 2 hands. Letting this movement flow. Same speed out, same speed back. That natural step. So I'm going to turn my back for this one. So we can do it at a slightly different angle. I'm going to turn this foot away from center. Place that heel down, just stepping out. And then allowing those hips, tailors down. So we're going to take that breath in. Here am I. Yeah, we've all made mistakes. But we've learned from them. That's who we are. That's what it is to be human. Breathing in. And from these hips, not overreaching. Coming into our 5 elements. Tailors down. Hands, palms connected. Connected to your center. Connected to each other. That breath in. Picture that green space. Feel that grass beneath your feet. The sounds of the water moving. Always moving. Never the same. Just like life. And the flow. The flow of the arms. Allowing yourself to be for a few moments. And then that circle of well-being. Breathing out. Breathing in. Head is relaxed. Hands are soft. Change in direction. Coming back. exhale us down, making these circles back to you. With a series of circles, making up these movements. There's no beginning, no end to a circle. Just flow. So we have this breath out. As we draw the hands to you, we're breathing in, breathing out. And then again, standing within yourself until you feel ready to move those feet. Maybe wiggle those hands a little bit. And just gently sort of bring yourself back into the room. Gently bring yourself in. So that was really nice. I always feel so much better having done this sequence with you. And actually in the midpoint, I thought, I'm going to go back to practicing just 5 minutes every morning because, it makes a difference, doesn't it? Anyway, thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, let me know and I will endeavour to help you. It is a really nice sequence if you can remember some of the movements to do it outside. And I do have a leaflet somewhere with the movements on there. So if you'd like me to email it to you, just let me know. Because if you decide, the weather's so good, it'd be so nice to do it outside, but I can't remember the moves, then it'll be really useful. Anyway, take care. My email address, sarah.tag, T-A-G-G, @ceredigion.gov.uk. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.